Hi JT, how are you? This is Coach Daniel. Thank you so much for coming to the clinic. I know you guys drove quite a ways to get there, and it was a pleasure having you. Um, so there are a few things on your game that are actually kind of obvious that they need to be worked on. Um, it may sound a little poorly, a little crummy that I call them obvious, but it's actually good news because if they're obvious to see, they're obvious to work on, and they're easy to see. So let's get right to it. Now, please keep in mind, because now I have you on video, I have the opportunity to tell you all kinds of things. Be careful to work on things only one at a time. So let's get right to it. First, we're going to work on your stance. I'd love to see you stand up a little straighter. Instead of having this curved back, you want to have your head clearly on top of your feet. And you can see how that's not happening right now. Make sure you keep your elbow back at the same level as your spine. So if your spine is going to be here, your elbow should follow about the same line. Bowling ball should be right next to your tummy. Your center of gravity and the center of the ball need to match. So as your center of gravity is right here, we want to bring the bowling ball as close as we can to your center. That'll be your start. Second, we notice this really big swing you have going on in front of you. So when I tell you the words bowling swing, this would not be what you would imagine. If I tell you the words bowling swing and I ask you to imagine a bowling swing, you'd imagine this, right? So our goal is to get this object from back here, from in front to back there, as fast and efficiently as possible. Do the best that you can to make sure you lower the ball as fast as possible when the right foot catches your weight. See right here, when your right leg is vertical to the ground and your left foot is now off the ground, the bowling ball should be somewhere in this neighborhood. And we're pretty far from there. A big part of that is because your right elbow tends to move forward quite a bit. See, at this point, your right elbow is next to your lower ribs. And at this point, now it gets quite ahead of that spot where it was. So if you can make your forward swing, your front swing significantly smaller, then your backswing will get a little bit bigger. Think of it this way. You're taking a 5-step approach. 1, 2, 3. And your center of gravity is still in the same place, right? That's never going to change. So your bowling ball doesn't make it to your center of gravity until 3.5 steps have happened. So you're using more than half of your approach, more than half of your walk to the foul line, and haven't gotten the ball back here yet. You're using a lot of the real estate provided to swing the ball in front of you. To move the ball, I shouldn't say swing, but to move the ball in front of you instead of behind you. This is probably a really, really big change for you, JT. So, number 1, make sure right foot down, bowling ball down. Number 2, your brain is going to say, oh my, what is this? Why is my bowling ball in such a weird place? That's simply because you are very much used to this and not used to having the bowling ball back here as much as you should. So all you have to do is make sure that 1, drop the ball down when the right foot catches your weight. 2, hurry up the next 2 steps. If you do this and your next 2 steps feel like you had to absolutely run, that means that you've done it right and that you're feeling the right thing. Next, we need to work on your steps direction. See, right here, your second step is going outright. which is going to make your third step go out left. You have to create a crossover from the right foot going in front of the left foot. And the reason for that is very simple. If you're going to start dropping the ball much sooner, and you're going to get the ball here at this point, that means that, and this is that spot, right? That means that we have to get this leg out of the way, because the bowling ball needs to swing right where that leg is. That's where, for you, a crossover step is going to be super important. After you build a crossover step into your game, try to make sure that you don't build a crossover with the right foot, creating the left foot to go farther left. This big space is what we are trying to avoid. And then at the delivery, when you get done with your shot, do the best that you can to keep that trail leg down. You see how it comes up just a little bit? And we see your head come up. I want you to correlate your head with the right foot, and you'll see them both come up after the ball leaves your hand. Watch. So your head is going to be able to stay a lot more steady if the right foot simply stays down touching the wood. JT, these are a lot of small details, a lot of small different things to work on, so please be careful working on all of them. My recommendation is pick one of the things that I mentioned, go do it at the bowling center, then pick another one, go do it, and just do them one thing at a time. Thank you, JT. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach me at daniel@bestbowling.com. Thank you.